Hello there fellow humans and welcome to another episode of your replays and the final one for 2024. This time we've got some tier 10 action starting off with the Grill 15, and as always if you want to send me your replays, put them down on my Discord server, link in the description. There's a replays channel for that. And now we're gonna have a look at some aggressive Grill gameplay right here. And the vehicle obviously doesn't have any armor whatsoever. It's also quite tall, which is not very nice. However, it does have decent mobility in a straight line. It doesn't turn all that well, but the gun is excellent with great accuracy and over 3000 EPM right here. So this thing is quite good still if you know what you're doing, but otherwise if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna really struggle with this vehicle because it has been nerfed quite a bit from what it used to be, which is a bit sad. It used to have 640 alpha damage, then 600, and then 580, which is a bit sad. But in this case, if the enemy team is playing just like that and playing as badly as they are, then playing the Grill aggressively is very well possible right here. Just look at that enemy Leopard. He's not taking any space. They're all just sitting bunched up in one single corner. But I mean, who really can blame that Leopard? He is the underdog there. There are two mediums, well, medium and a light tank on the team right here. So the Leopard kind of did the right thing to try and escape. But now the Jagdtiger is the primary concern of Zedan right here. Because the enemy team, they're now pushing forward. They're now going to go for the AFK light tank that is still in spawn, which isn't really going to be all that much help because it is already a 5 versus 6, so it's a 4 versus 6 because that guy is not going to come alive, which is a bit sad. So World of Tanks Blitz is an interesting game, certainly. I can tell you that much. I mean, I have spent a total of €0 on Blitz this entire year, and I gotta say, it feels quite nice. And now, the Foch. He's on a hunt. He's coming after the Grill, but obviously the Grill is quite a bit faster than the Foch. But in the end, you really won't be able to run away because there is a lot of enemies over there in the spawn now, which is not going to help whatsoever. So now we're going to have a look. The Foch can't really know. Is he gonna do the capital mistake of playing a tank destroyer, and that is allowing the enemy to get onto your side? Like, I've done this so many times and it happens again and again and again. There's always going to be that tank destroyer guy that rushes in, that goes straight at you. You jink to the left. The guy thinks you're going to the left, but then you immediately turn to the right and you're on his side. You didn't expect that move to happen. It just works all the time, especially when it's like a Foch or a 268 or a 263, like tank destroyers that are rushing fast at you. It works all the time. So, and it is glorious because you have like a full HP tank destroyer that just thought of himself to be the winner, but now you're on his side and he's dead because the Grill does have a turret, so you can shoot over the side of the vehicle to some degree, unlike the Foch. Now that E100 there is a big problem, and an even bigger problem if he is using the 550, I don't know, gun, then it could be over 900 HE damage right there, so you want to avoid that at all costs. And here's a little piece of advice as well. It doesn't really matter if you know what caliber the E100 is, you just have to roughly know what it is. I believe the alpha damage has been buffed from 640 to 680 now, something like that. So there's that. But it did fire the HE, but 7,000 damage in a Grill. Ain't that impressive? And now the Leopard, he's trying to rush, but the Grill reloads in 10 seconds, and we have a excellent first game right here with 7,000 damage and a quite aggressive Grill, and that also showed that you can do really well in this vehicle. So make sure to play a tank destroyer like that, not like that Foch. But now we're going to the 60 TP, and for your convenience, I've already cut out 1 minute of Baron here trying to climb the hill on this map, and I think this might be the game of the year right here. So we got the 60 TP, right? Good armor, 7 degrees of gun depression, good turret. You kind of want to play it in a hull down position if you can, right? To use that gun depression, use that turret armor, use the high alpha damage. Please pay attention to the chat as well in this battle, especially that Badger. He's going to be really mad. But yeah, basically, after 2 minutes and nothing going anywhere, the enemy team has decided they're just going to push the spawn, right? There's 2 heavies right there, an I-7 and a Conqueror just straight up in the spawn right there. Yeah, this is really going to be a game of the year contender. So now Baron is going up here. That's not his in-game name, but that's what he's called on Discord. And again, if you want to send me your replays, put them down in your Discord, especially if you've got games like this one, because this is actually mental. So Now, we got a 907 and a 60 TP. And as the old joke goes, what is a 907 and a 60 TP gonna do when the rest of their entire team crumbles and falls apart? Well, they're gonna try to carry somewhat. But now, we're gonna 268 down there, just peeking out in the open as one would. Now, also for reference, this is the Asia server, so take that as you will. But now, Dog and Pig 4, says the Badger. So he's very motivated and very happy about playing the game, and especially now in the time of Christmas, when it's supposed to be a time of friendship and peace and all of those kind of things. I think getting mad at a pointless tank game is not really all that cool. So if you find yourself getting mad, don't. Just do something else. I don't know. Do some alcohol or whatever. Actually, don't. It's bad for you. Now, 3 versus 7. The enemies possibly can't throw this, right? This is no chance that this could ever result in a defeat for the enemy team. Well, let's see. The Conquerors now decided to go up there and hide behind the rock because, you know, the Conqueror is world famous for its amazing turret armor. Of course not. But that already puts him down quite a bit. 268, he's already low. He exposed himself out in the open. Don't do that. Doesn't work. Now, the Conqueror and the VK90 and another guy are already pushed through the spawn. So what you can do here now is you've got 3 pretty much full HP tanks against 3 not so healthy tanks. So it is very important here to reduce the number of enemy guns, especially in a situation like this. You want to get those guns out of the game as quickly as you possibly can. 4005 is mad. The Badger is also mad. They're going to stay mad. Don't worry. Their impact is 0. Like, you being mad at someone else in a tank game will have 0 impact on their life. Don't bother. I mean, I did it a couple of times. I'm a recovering rageaholic. Not really, but, you know, I shouted at people in chat occasionally for extreme stupidities. But here's the thing. In the end, you're not going to change anybody's behavior with how they play in a tank game. So don't bother. Now the Badger and the 907, they're now both low HP, and those 3 guys are now dead. So ideally what you want to do in a situation like this, the Badger is now accusing of Nobrian, in fact, because spelling brain is that much harder than, you know, shutting up. But now, somehow, from 7 versus 3, we're down to 3 versus 3. Isn't that already lovely? The enemy team is completely thrown away, and what you want to do in a situation like this, just like it has been done here, you want to preserve your hit points, and you want to use the map to your advantage. You don't want to have 3 guys jumping in you all the time, and even though your mom might like that on a Thursday night, that is not how you play World of Tanks Blitz whatsoever. You want to have some distance. You want to fight 1v1, v1, v1, ideally. Because if you got more than one gun pointing at you, you're at the wrong club. Now, 907 goes down, and the Badger will also be going down very soon, and that is not really that great because that is now a 1 versus 3. And now the CC, he's trying to get away because he has been put low, but instead of trying to get away, he turns around and, yeah, gets himself killed because he's not aware of where the 60 TP is, because game awareness is very important. That is the thing that gets you good at Blitz, right? This is a strategy game. If you don't have game awareness, you're gonna lose. But let's look at the clock. There's 1 minute left in this battle right here. It has been turned back from a 3 versus 7 disadvantage to only a 1 versus 2. And there are 2 enemies left. It's basically impossible to kill both of them because neither of them have been seen so far. And the cap time is also not sufficient because you need 100 and... Is that like 1 minute and 40? It's like 100 seconds to cap the base. So that is not going to be sufficient right here. And the Badger now saying rush base for some reason, even though that's not possible to actually do. So, yeah, here comes the Grill. He's now pushing forward. You can put him down with a little bit of HE. And now what you want to do is you want to push that Grill to get as much out of this battle as you possibly can, because there is no chance that this game is going to go either way. There's 18 seconds left. Baron gets himself stuck. Uses the shell here, the tungsten, to get himself some extra damage. Now he's still stuck. Now wiggle the tank back and forth. Don't try to go the same direction. Wiggle back and forth. 5 seconds left on the clock, and now we're gonna finish off the Grill. Just with 1 second on the clock, and the Charfuture explodes because he was AFK the entire battle. And that is now a draw. What the hell? 5,300 damage. Clawed it back from a 3 versus 7. We had an angry Badger, we had an angry 4005, and we had an AFK Sharfield Shaw. And a 60 TP that got, like, that is definitely game of the year. Put it down in the comments. Which of those two is game of the year? And now we're getting to number 3. I'm definitely voting that 60 TP. Like, that is the perfect description of how World of Tanks Blitz works these days. Just complete and utter savagery. And now, T95 E6. We've gone from no armor, a lot of mobility, sort of, to a lot of armor, not a lot of mobility, to now not a lot of armor and a lot of mobility. Again, sort of, because the T95's armor isn't really that good. Like, you can pen this thing pretty much everywhere. So, how do you want to play this? Ideally, what I would have done in this vehicle is go to the middle and play that Haldan position, but you can also go up here if you're not feeling very comfortable and not very confident in your team, because if the enemy team starts controlling the other side of this map, then obviously you could get into trouble in that flank over there. So now, I would also naturally not trust that team, of course. And now, we have a 60 TP down there, who's just wandering through the screen, just not paying attention to anything that's going on. Ain't that just lovely? And there's another guy. There's an E3 spotted and another guy in the back. Goddamn. So, we got Tortoise camping. That's always lovely to see. Right, you'd definitely want to have 4,000 DPM set in a corner and wait for you specifically. Not really. But already, there is a dead heavy tank. It's already a disadvantage. And the enemy team is controlling pretty much the entire map right here. Like, they have the vital map control. So it is important here to play around that and to get it back. T92 throws away, overpeaks, gets himself wrecked, and now this 60 TP also gets himself on flat ground right here where he can be fought and defeated, and he also fires way too early and bounces off the T95, which, you know, here's the thing, you don't have to be good at Blitz. You just have to be not as shit as everybody else that's playing Blitz. That's the fundamental essence of this game, is that you don't need to be good. Just need to be not as bad as everybody else. So, here comes the T95, here comes 60 AP, obviously with careless disregard for own hit point pool, and obviously Brock, I don't know what your name is, but you need to now save your hit points. Save your hit points and get some distance, especially if you're in a disadvantage, because those hit points will be of use later. And that distance obviously is going to be useful to use space to maneuver and also have that enemy take a long time to get to you. Now here's a Type 71 down there in the low ground, and it's already been swung around with this game right there. Isn't that just lovely? Look at them. They had the entire map under control. But I think this one definitely deserves a nomination for the biggest throw of the year right here. I mean, the guys in the last game also threw like mega hard, but I think these guys threw even harder because they had like the entire map controlled. So yeah, now that's down to an FV4202 and an E3, and what they should be doing here is play together, use the map, use the space, get some distance, and regroup right here, because there are only 3 AP shells in Brock's tank right here, and those are going to run out soon, and the Object 84 is really no match for an E3 frontal ace. I would have to get around the side of it, and the KPZ-70 is very easy to dispose of for a FV4202, so the big threat here is the T95, because 6,000 damage already dealt is quite dangerous as well. But instead of, you know, disappearing, trying to find himself a different angle, going around the back, for example, going to Brock's spawn and attacking the KPZ-70 from behind, he just sticks around and gets himself shot at continuously, with now only 8 heat shells and 6 HE shells in the gun right here, which could turn into a problem eventually, but not as much as Metal Panda over there. It's a bit of a... I mean, he has the survival skills of the real Panda, so that tracks. But at this point, here is the E3, and he's pointing the correct way, but he somehow fluffs that shot. Anyway, I don't know how, but now He's dead. HE, right up the back door. And that concludes another epic 7,000 damage battle. So vote down in the comments, which one would you vote for Battle of the Year? Is it playing a Grill aggressively? Is it the worst throw of all time? Or is it the second worst throw of all time? Well, of this month, really. So let's just put it down to Game of the Month. What do you vote? Put it down in the comments. I'm curious. I'd definitely go for the 60p.